The Trump administration is reportedly weighing whether to let states use federal funds to buy guns for schools. According to the New York Times, the plan would allow schools to use money that had been set aside for academic enrichment grants. The report prompted a storm of criticism from Democratic lawmakers and educators. Shannon Watts is the founder of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. She joins me now from San Francisco. Shannon, thank you so much for being with us. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut, which of course was the site of the Sandy Hook school shooting, has already introduced an amendment that would block this. Is more legislation the answer?
Well, guns in schools is not the answer to this problem. We have a real problem, a crisis with school shootings in this country, but the solution is to disarm dangerous people. It is not to add sharpshooter to the job description of teachers and volunteer faculty. We know in this country that very highly trained police only hit their targets about 30% of the time. The idea that we would be able to adequately train teachers to act in an active shooter situation is patently absurd. And why we're seeing this is very clear. It's because there is about a $100 million loss among gun manufacturers since Donald Trump was elected. And arming just a fraction of our country's 3.6 million teachers would certainly go a long way in putting money back in their coffers.
Now, this money would apparently come from the bipartisan Every Student Success Act, which was passed in 2015. I imagine it's safe to say you disagree with this plan. So what would you like to see be done with this funding instead?
Well, we're hoping to be able to stop this before it becomes part of the appropriations spending bill. There is absolutely no need to spend taxpayer dollars on guns for teachers. Instead, we should be spending money on school supplies and giving them the tools that they need to teach and not to take on active shooters.
Now, according to the New York Times, the department began exploring this idea right after the Parkland shooting. So given the response we've seen from Parkland students, what kind of reaction do you expect to this proposal?
Well, look, we've been working on this issue in state legislatures, and just this year, we were able to stop bills that would have armed teachers in about 16 states across the country. So this is something that police, students, faculty, parents, police all agree is a bad idea, and yet Congress continues to push this in the Trump administration, and in large part that's because the NRA was one of the largest outside donors to Donald Trump. But we expect to see significant pushback, and we believe that we can defeat this really bad idea.
I mean, do teachers say they want to be armed? Do they want to be trained? Do they want guns in their desks? What has been the response from teachers groups and teachers unions?
Yeah, absolutely not. They do not want to be armed. No teacher signs up for the job they're doing thinking that they will somehow have to take on active shooters and be responsible for a loaded gun in their classroom. We have educators that are part of Moms Demand Action, and we are seeing teachers all over the country respond with absolute outrage to this proposal. And the problem is that Congress isn't asking for their opinion. They're only asking for the opinion of gun lobbyists. And so we would ask everyone to get off the sidelines, go to our website, go to our Twitter page, and get involved. We make it very easy to contact your member of Congress and tell them you don't want teachers to be armed.
Shannon Watts, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.